We talked after last game about flushing the Celtics game. Were you guys able to do that, or did you take anything away from that game?
No, I just flushed it right down the toilet. Computer and everything, just dumped everything in there.
This game tonight, rivalry week with the Kings, what does this matchup mean? I know you guys have had a bunch of battles with them over the years.
It's fun. I love playing these guys. I love coming to this arena. It's a great vibe. There's an electricity in the air, and I love not getting on a plane to fly home. And this is always a fun game to play.
Any word on Gary?
Not yet. I'm still waiting to hear.
And then, independently of that, but what do you anticipate the 4 spot looking like tonight? I know we saw Gary get the start for Draymond last game, but how has that spot evolved without Draymond?
Well, it's just mix and match. It'll be Gary, Guy, Moses, some combination of that.
We saw Brandon and Kyle out there at least getting some work in today. Could they either of them maybe go tomorrow?
Potentially tomorrow. Yeah, that's the hope. But they're both coming along well, and we'll see tomorrow.
You've talked a lot about the puzzle of this team and this roster. Mm-hmm. How much of that puzzle comes down to so many players who you consider like their best position is the 4?
We have several guys. Obviously, Kyle, Draymond, Moses, Guy. Several guys who fit into what you're talking about. Even Gary really is kind of a power forward in a guard's body. So trying to put the puzzle together with the injuries is actually easier because you have fewer choices. But we're definitely searching right now. We're searching for a spark, something to get us going a little bit offensively, and that's the lineup choices we make tonight are going to be based on trying to jumpstart our offense a little bit.
I guess what goes into jumpstarting the offense? What are you noticing that maybe can get this thing going?
Well, pace is down. We feels like I talk about this every night, but we've got to get our pace up. Got to get the ball down the floor. The ball's got to move, and we got to have better spacing. And if we get to our spots and shoot with confidence, we can be a really good team. And we've seen that, sporadically over the last few weeks. We can have that game, but we've got to stay with it when things don't go well. I think I mentioned this the other night. We played a great first quarter against Boston, and we were down 29-18 because the ball didn't go in the hoop. And you have to be able to play through those stretches when the ball doesn't go in. And I think we went from, with about 3 minutes left, it was a tie game. And those last 3 minutes, we sort of hung our heads a little bit. I think we were 1 for 12 from 3 in that quarter. And so we lost a little bit of confidence, and that affected our overall energy and play. And that's what we have to be able to play through.
Have you gotten any clarity on when you might be able to go home to the Palisades? I went
home Sunday, this past Sunday, on our day off. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Well, it was great to be with my mom and my family, and tough to see the house and the whole neighborhood like that. But it was important for us to be able to be together to see that.
What do you think was kind of the second half issue, particularly?
Turnovers. Yeah. The whole game was third quarter turnovers. They were trapping in the first half. We handled the traps beautifully. Got wide open looks, knocked down shots, and then second half we lost our poise. They picked up their pressure, but other than maybe 2 or 3 plays where they trapped Steph and got a deflection, I thought almost every turnover was unforced. But sometimes when you get sped up, you make poor decisions, and I thought that happened a little bit tonight.
Steve, what were you looking for bringing Schroeder off the bench?
Well, Buddy has been great with Steph, and their numbers together are really good. Just felt like we get a little more catch and shoot with Buddy, a little more spacing, and I love Dennis coming off the bench for his ball handling, his defense. Obviously, he's going to play all the non-Steph minutes, and then play some with him as well. And so that was the idea behind the lineup change.
You mentioned it a little pregame, but even playing Quentin seems like you're trying to lean more offense. I mean, is this what you're trying to do in the foreseeable future here, is to kind of try to find better offensive lineups?
Yeah, but it changes every night, But yeah, we were planning on playing Quinten Post regardless of Loon's illness. You saw we got him out there in the first half. Playing with a space big is it's a luxury, and it's something that gives us a different look. And Quentin's a really good player. You can see it. He's tough. He knows how to play. It was a great experience for him tonight, and I'm really, really excited about his growth and his development, and it's fun to see what he can do.
What's the balance like of playing with pace when you are shorthanded, not having a full complement tonight? Did you feel like fatigue played a role at all?
Pace is all about just the first three steps. First, the ball changes hands in either direction. First three steps, you go, and then you get the ball up the floor. But pace with poor decision making is not pace; it's just recklessness. And so, I mean, you look at the fast break point; it's 28-0 fast break points. So we didn't really play with pace tonight. We were just reckless and careless with the ball. But the first half, you saw with poise, with execution against the trapping, the game gets easy. And when you're knocking down shots like we were in the first half, that's what we're capable of. But a lot of things changed in the second half, and I'm really pleased with our guys' competitive fight. I thought there were a lot of good things tonight, but we've got to be able to maintain that level of poise and execution, especially on the road against a really good team. We got to understand there has to be purpose to the game, and too many just careless passes and careless possessions where it's like, no, that doesn't win in the NBA on the road. That does not win. So we got to understand what wins, and we got to execute.
Are you planning to try to get Quentin out there more often?
Yeah, I'd like to. He changes the look out there. He can stand out there and make a three. He can pass. You saw how he battled Sabonis in there. It's a different look for us, and I'd like to give him some time here coming up.
When a team like the Kings is trapping Steph so brazenly, like all the way out to half court, how do you want your team to approach that?
Just like we did in the first half. They were trapping in the first half, and we picked them apart. It starts with spacing, and if as long as Steph has outlets, he's got to make the easy pass. I thought in the first half he made a lot of easy passes to the perimeter, but he also really found the roller a couple times, and that led to open 3-point shots on the weak side. And then second half, they did a better job in their traps, being more aggressive. And you saw Steph turn it over a couple times. Late third or mid third, I thought he got a little sped up at that point. But if you have spacing and you get the trap and you get the ball out, this is the NBA. It's 4-on-3. We're going to get a good look, and we got a lot of guys who can knock down a shot, make a play. I hope everybody traps us every game. It just makes the game way easier, but you have to handle it. And you handle it, again, with poise and decision-making.
Key, what do you think went wrong, particularly on offense in the second half, especially against Sacramento's trap?
I think we stopped moving the ball like we were moving the first half. We are a team that when we have a good, when we move the ball and everybody's spacing the floor, everybody cutting, we got a good rhythm playing. So I think we stopped a little bit doing that, so that's why they come back in the game.
What are the challenges that come with when a defense is trapping like that and trying to speed you guys up?
The challenge is like keeping doing the good decision makings. I think we have 8 turnovers in the third quarter, so that hurt us and gave them opportunity to run the fast breaks. That's how they like to play. That's how they want to play, and that's put them in the game.
What was it like being out there again with Quentin? How did his presence change the spacing?
Quentin is a big guy that can shoot the ball, and also he's 7 foot. So just because he's there under the rim, he helps a lot, even in the rebound or the contesting shots. So having him down there was good tonight. Help us a lot, especially when we have the guys driving to the layups. He was always there, even contesting the shot or box out Sabonis.
That it? Cool. All right, Quentin's coming.
All right. Thank you.
Steve said, the plan all along was to get you some minutes tonight. What have your discussions with him and the coaching staff been like in terms of what they expect of you?
I feel like mostly just about effort. Just play my hardest out there, do the little things, and don't overthink anything. Just play the game, how I've always played it, and go from there.
What do you think went wrong in the second half as a team today?
Turnovers. I think in the first half we did a really good job of handling their blitzes, their traps on Steph. And in the second half, we just threw the ball over way too much, especially in that third quarter, I think. So not sure what went wrong, but that's definitely where we need to look back at and see what we can do better.
What did you notice about the kind of looks that you guys were getting when you were out there with Steph and some of the first unit guys?
Honestly, the game's kind of a blur right now, but I think we got some decent looks. I think probably at the 5 I provide a little more spacing, so it's definitely a different look out there than with Trace or Loon. So it's both for me, but also for the other guys. I think kind of having to get used to. There was one play, for example, where Steph throws it to the roller, which is me, but I popped, and it's a turnover, right? So that's where we just don't really know each other that well as a player. So kind of have to figure that out and have to get used to each other. So definitely a lot of learning points, but hopefully we can build on it.
What are some ways you try to get on the same page with a guy like Steph who, you don't practice that much with, you're not always in the same city?
Yes, exactly. Honestly, good question. I think, that's kind of part of being a rookie. You just kind of have to figure that out. I mean, obviously, what Steph has done for this organization, it's kind of his organization. So I just have to fit in, and I'll figure it out, and I'll talk to him about it. And but he's a great leader, and he tells me kind of what he likes in certain actions, and it'll just take a little time, but we'll figure it out.
We just had a couple careless possessions in the third quarter. We executed extremely well most of the game. Obviously, they were throwing a lot at me, and we were able to get the ball moving, get open looks, and then you just have to stay as disciplined as possible. If teams are going to play jump defenses and send traps and double teams, I'm going to get off of it. We just got to be able to be sound, make simple plays. It's tempting sometimes to get a little sped up. You got to credit them. They had athleticism all over the floor. You could tell that they had a good halftime talk and knew how they were going to try to get back in the game, and it worked.
He just said he's going to play Quentin more. We'll say, I don't know how much, but I mean, obviously he provides a different element. How needed is that for you guys to have at least a stretch 5 to go to?
It was interesting tonight. We had, besides the one turnover I had in the third where I thought he was going to roll and he popped and we got kind of confused. That was building chemistry. I don't think we've played together even in training camp, even in practice. So
that was the first time you'd ever been on this time.
He reminded me of that. So we'll develop that chemistry for sure, just knowing where he's going to be. But there's 3 other plays I can think of where they sent a double or pulled over and I was able to find him on the perimeter and knock down some big shots. So he's going to get comfortable pretty quick. I know it's everybody who plays in the G is, kind of big-eyed when you get up here because of the pace and the physicality and the skill around the court. But he looked very, he looked like he fit, so it was kind of cool to watch.
Whether it's him or outside the organization, how much do you feel like you need in 2025? More minutes with a stretch big on the floor. You personally.
Just the way the league is going right now, you having space and having as many shooters as possible at whatever position. The 5 definitely it helps. So I think I don't know how many minutes we played in the first half, but it's just you have a counter to aggressive defenses if they want to try to take the ball out of my hands. It should help Dennis a little bit too in pick and roll type situations where you got to make the defense decide are they going to pull in or they're going to stay at home and we can try to get downhill a little bit more and get into the paint and create advantages off of his presence or a shooter's presence at the 5. So it definitely helps.
Did you